Right now, federal prosecutors have more tools, more funding, and more aggressive charging strategies than at any point in the last decade.
Your Honor, the evidence clearly shows that the defendant's actions compromise the entire network infrastructure.
Cybercrime cases, cryptocurrency fraud, wire fraud, federal conspiracy charges tied to digital activity. These cases are landing in criminal defense offices across the country, and a lot of firms are losing them before the case even starts. Not in the courtroom, in the consultation, on the website, and in the first phone call. Here's the reality. If a high-value client facing federal or cyber charges can't tell from your online presence that you understand what they're dealing with, they're hiring someone else. Hey, if this is your first time here, welcome. My name is Dave Revere. I'm the founder of Legal Tamer and author of Unlocking New Client Acquisition for Defense Lawyers. We help criminal defense firms grow through better marketing, intake, and follow-up systems. Okay, let me give you some context on what's happening here. The DOJ has significantly increased the volume and aggressiveness of federal prosecutions over the past few years. Cybercrime task forces, financial fraud units, multi-agency investigations involving the FBI, IRS, and Secret Service. At the same time, crypto-related cases have exploded. Wallet tracing, exchange records. These cases are complex. They involve significant money, and the clients attached to them are often high net worth individuals or business owners. This is exactly the type of client criminal defense firms should want. High case value, sophisticated, willing to invest in quality representation. The problem is that most criminal defense firms are not set up to attract them. Let me walk you through what happens when one of these clients or their corporate attorney or their family starts looking for representation. First, of course, they go online and they search. And here's what they're evaluating in the first 30 seconds. Does this firm understand federal cases? Do they have experience with digital evidence or financial fraud? Is there any signal on this website that tells me this attorney gets what I'm dealing with? Most criminal defense websites fail this test completely. They're built for DUI and drug cases. They use generic language. They list every case type imaginable with no real depth on any one of them. To a sophisticated client facing federal charges, that website says one thing: wrong firm, and they move on. Now, here's what makes this worse. These clients often come through referral networks. Corporate attorneys, accountants, financial advisors, these referral sources are making the same evaluation. When they look at your website to decide whether to send someone your way, they're applying the same filter. Generic equals out. Let's say they do call you, or they fill out your contact form. What happens next in your firm? If your intake process isn't set up to handle complexity, to ask the right questions and respond with speed and intelligence and communicate credibility from the very first touch point, you will lose these clients even after they reach out. High-value clients with high stakes federal cases are evaluating your firm at every single touch point. How fast you respond, whether the intake person sounds like they understand the case type, whether you have a clear process and can explain what happens next. If the answer to any of those is no, they are just gone. So what do you actually do about this? Start with your website. You might not need to rebuild it from scratch. You might just need to add some depth. A dedicated page for federal defense, meaningful content around cybercrime, financial fraud, or digital evidence. If those are cases you want to attract, you better have something in there. Write it in plain language. Talk about the challenges of these cases. Talk about your approach. Signal that you understand the landscape. Then look at your intake process. When someone reaches out about a federal or complex financial case, what is their experience? Time it out. What is your average response time? Who are they speaking with? What questions are being asked? These are the gaps where high-value clients fall through. And then create content, a video, a blog post, something that demonstrates your thinking on this area of law. You don't have to give away your strategy. You just have to show that you're someone worth talking to. Federal and cyber cases represent some of the highest value work in criminal defense right now. The firms that position themselves properly online in their intake and how they communicate, they're going to capture a disproportionate share of that work. The firms that don't are going to keep competing for volume on lower value cases while the high-ticket work goes to someone else. In the next video, I want to talk about something that applies to every type of criminal defense case, not just federal. It's about the intake conversation itself, specifically how trauma affects the people sitting across from you and how the way your firm handles that moment determines whether you sign the client or lose them. It's one of the most underrated aspects of running a defense practice, and it directly ties to your conversion rate. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you know a defense attorney who's been trying to break into higher value federal work, send them this video. I'm Dave Revere, and this case is closed. See you in the next one.